Hey guys, in this video, we are going to explore how we can properly download the Metasploitable 3 machine on our VirtualBox and how we can properly configure that and how we can pen test that, how we can explore the vulnerability in it. So let's begin. So first up, to download that, I'm just recommending you a website called Archive, so which will be spelled as ARCHIVE. So that's something to remember, okay? So from there in the archive.org website, you can just go to the search option. You can see here is our search option. Here you can just search for Metasploitable 3. Once you search and click go, then you will be able to see a lot of information from there. Just scroll down and you'll be able to see an option here. You can see Metasploitable 3 master win2k8, which is a Windows machine. You can just click there. So once you click that, then you will be able to see show all files option. You can just click that. And once you click there, so you'll be able to see an .ova file, which you can just pretty much import on your VirtualBox. So this is the file that you need to download. This is basically 6.7 gigabytes. So yeah, you have to download this first file. And remember guys, download this in your Windows machine, not inside the Kali Linux, but this is something that you need to download in your Windows machine. After downloading this into a Windows machine, you just need to double click that particular OVA file and it will get automatically imported into your VirtualBox. And after that, you have to make sure that network adapter should be in the bridged adapter or NAT, and I recommend here in this bridged adapter for both Kali Linux and the Metasploitable 3 should be in the same adapter. So here I just put that in the bridged adapter, so you can just put it into the bridged adapter as I am demonstrating in this video. So once you put that, then you can just pretty much start your Metasploitable 3 master win2k8 machine. Once you download the OVA file, you only need to double click that file, then it will get automatically imported into the VirtualBox. Other than that, you don't have to worry about installation, configuration, something like that. So it's easy, right? So yeah. So once you are done, then you can just click here and open the Metasploitable 3 virtual machine, which is a Windows virtual machine. And you can see this is how it looks like. So we can see it is asking us to press the Control Alt and Delete to log on. You can just press that, but here I'm just moving to the input keyboard. Here you can see an option to press there. You can just click here, and now we just press there, and we do have two user accounts available here. One of them is administrator and another one is vagrant. Here I'm just moving to the inside the administrator account, and the password here is vagrant. So the password for both the account is vagrant, VAGRANT. Okay, so I'm just clicking ask me later, just clicking OK. Now we can see this is our mission. So this is our Windows mission. You can just let me click cancel, go to the recycle bin, and you can just go to the computer and you will be able to see it's basically a Windows 2008 server. Okay, you can just go to the properties and you'll be able to see some more information about which version of this particular Windows is running on, and the RAM, etc. Right. So you can just pretty much go to the firewall settings and you can just turn it on or off the firewall based on how you want to explore the services that is available here in this particular virtual machine. If this firewall is by default turned on, then I recommend to turn it off for smooth experience of exploitation. So yeah, once you turn off these firewalls and all those things, then you can just start performing exploitation on this. So you can just open a command prompt by entering cmd, and let me zoom that for you so that you will be able to see that properly. You can see now I'm just entering ipconfig to get the IP address in the Windows machine. You can enter ipconfig. If you want to get your IP in the Linux, then you are going to enter ifconfig. So that's something that is different in the commands. Like in Windows it's P, in Linux it's F. Okay, so anyways, ipconfig will reveal the IP address of this particular Windows 2008 virtual machine, which we can call as Metasploitable 3. And the IP here is 192.168.29.172 in my case. In your case, it will be different. So once you get the IP, you can just go to our Kali Linux And you can also discover the IP using the ARP scan command, like sudo ARP-scan space -L, and it will list the IP addresses or the devices that is available in the internet. And you can see the MAC address starting with the 08 will be usually our target IP that is running in the virtual box, and here is our target IP. You can just get those IP using the MAC address starting with the 08. This trick, okay. Okay, once we get the IP, let me perform a basic nmap scan, like nmap space the target IP. And here you can see there's a lot of ports open in that particular target. So you can also perform service version detection or script scanning to get more information about it. You can see the port 80, which is HTTP, was open. What we can do is to open the browser and paste the IP to see a web page. Here it is. So this is basically a background image. You can just view the page source, and here you can see there's an image called hahaha.jpg here. So what you can do is we can just view that. Like ha.jpg. So I think you can just view that by entering ha.jpg. Here it is. So here is our image. So other than that, we have two other ports open, which is SMB, and we do have FTP open, which you can just perform enumeration using check if anonymous login was allowed or not by entering FTP IP address, and you can just enter the username as anonymous and enter the password as anonymous, or you can just press enter. And as you can see, login was failed. That pretty much means that the anonymous login was not allowed. So what we can do is we have services like NetBIOS and Microsoft DS, which is something that is open. So you can just use tools like enum for Linux, -A for getting all, or you can also enter -S for getting the share related informations. And let me use -A. And still we were not able to get any share or some informations. There is nothing much information available there. Other than that, we have MySQL open, and 3389, which is RDP, was open, and those other things are open. So here it is, RDP is open, right? So let us try to do some RDP on it. Like we can use tools like Remina. So you can just install that in your Linux like this. Once you enter Remina, then you will be able to see an option. Do you want to install it? Then you can just pretty much press Y to install that tool. Let us check if we are allowed to log into RDP. I'm just entering Remina, and this is the graphical user interface tool. Here you have to enter your target IP address. Once it's done, you can just press enter, and you can see could not connect to the RDP. And let me close. I think let me click here, and we have an option here called server, where I am just pasting my IP, and in the user I'm just pasting username as vagrant and the password as vagrant vagrant. And I'm just trying to connect. Still it's saying that could not connect to the RDP via TLS. See the debug traces from a terminal for more information. I'm not going to interact too much into it. So let's see some of the ports. We have plenty of other informations, and the service version scan is also completed, and you will be able to see some version related informations. And we can see the HTTP was also running on multiple ports, right? Not only port 80, but also in port 5985 there is HTTP running. So let's try to access the 5985. And this is what we were able to find from the port 5985. There is not found is the informations, and we have 8022 available. Let's try to access 8022. And these are some informations that is available there. And we also have 8080, and you can see your server is now running Glassfish server. That is what running on 8080 port number. And you can also see that Glassfish server related contents here. And those other ports are also open. Okay, so anyways, here I'm just going to check for a vulnerability called EternalBlue. vulnerability in this particular mission, because EternalBlue vulnerability will be available in missions like Windows Server 2008. As you can see, we were able to find that this is running on Windows Server 2008 or 2012, right? It's between that, and as we know that it's running on Windows Server 2008. So what I'm going to do here is to launch the Metasploit framework console. Here is our Metasploit. I'm just searching for EternalBlue. Here we can see up to 29 informations available as of now. And here is our first module, which is about EternalBlue MS17010. And you can just pretty much give some information, info0, for getting the information of that particular module. And these are the informations that is available. And as you can see, it's basically x64 architecture and the disclosed date and a lot more information about this particular vulnerability. You can see Windows Server 2008 R2 is also available as target. It can exploit Windows 7, Windows Embedded Standard 7, Windows Server 2008 R2. In this case, you can see from our scan results, it's basically Windows 7, Windows Server 2008 R2. So that's what we are running. So this is vulnerable there also. You can see these are some of the targets that this particular vulnerability is vulnerable to. And you will be able to read the descriptions of that from there. So let's try to use that. And I'm just entering options command. And here you can see these are the options that we need to set is the R host, which is our target host. I'm just entering set R host. Here is my target host. Once I enter that, I'm just executing the run command. And as you can see, vulnerable host is likely vulnerable to MS17010. And it first use this auxiliary module to check if this host is vulnerable to that particular vulnerability. You can also use these auxiliary modules to check if it is vulnerable or not. And you can also use the exploit module for checking both of them at the same time. So once you use the auxiliary module, then it will scan if this particular operating system is vulnerable to MS17010, and you will be only able to identify if it is vulnerable or not using this auxiliary module. But once you use the exploit module, it will tell you if it is vulnerable, and if it is vulnerable, and it will exploit that. Okay, not just looking, but just looking and exploiting. That's what exploit module is going to do in this case. So you can see win. That means we pretty much get access to that particular system. And I enter ls, I was able to see the files in there. So when I enter pwd, I can see that I just get access in the C Windows System 32 directory. I'm just moving to the root directory. When I enter ls, these are the files there. So I'm just moving to users, and I'm just entering ls. The username here is administrator is where I'm going to. When I enter ls, these are the files. So let me go to the desktop. So in the desktop, we have ASDF and file. These are the two files available in the desktop. So let me open the desktop. We can see ASDF and file are the two files that is currently open in the desktop. What I can do is to remove these two files. Right. So I think there is a command like rm ASDF. No, there is a command that helps you to remove contents. Like this is directory. Like you can use rmdir ASDF, and it will remove that. And as you can see, it's now removed. So let's try to see. Here you can see it's basically removed. And when I open the recycle bin, so there's already files there, I think. Let me remove that also. And we have another file name called file, folder name called file is available. So let us remove that using the rmdir command and the file. Now it's removed. Let's try to move to here. You can see the removed contents will not be available in the recycle bin. That's great, right? So we were able to do something on it. So we can also create a directory, right? Hack. And once I go there, I can see this hack was created. Right, you can just pretty much do a lot of things here. Once you enter the help command, and you will be able to see a lot of options. Like you can just perform screen share, and you will be able to see the live window of how that particular thing looks like. So let me show you that. So once I close this in the target, you can see it's closed. Once I open the recycle bin, you can see in this screen share option it is playing. Once I close this, you can see it's just the mirroring of screen, right? So how cool it is, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do inside it, guys. So that's pretty cool, right? So yeah, let me close this. Control C, stopping that. You can also enter PS. I think yeah, PS will list the processes running. For example, what we can do is I'm just going to start a notepad here. Here notepad.exe was running. So I'm just listing the process using the PS command here in the Metasploit, and you can see the running processes. Let me try to find the notepad.exe. Here it is, the notepad.exe was running, and it's running is the process ID is 404. So you can just kill that using kill 404 command. As you can see, it's killing 404. That means that the notepad was now closed, right? So let me show you one more thing. Like once again, I'm just started the notepad. So let me split that so that you will be able to understand properly. Now I'm entering PS aux or PS itself. Will list the process, and I just need to find the notepad.exe's process. I think I can use the PS grep or command like PS grep notepad. And here you can see I get the notepad.exe was running on process ID 1452. I'm just entering kill 1452, and you can see it's closed here, right? It's cool, right? And you can just enter the help command to see the commands that you will be able to run inside there. You can just shut it down. You can just do whatever you want, a lot more thing. All right, you can just perform clear EV for clear the event log. Let me open the event viewer. And in the event viewer, you can see there's a lot of events, right? We have application logs, security, setup, etc., right? So I'm just entering the clear EV. Now it's saying that it's cleared. So once I refresh that, you can see everything was cleared right now. Right. So you can just do a lot of things once and penetration test hacker gains access to a system, then they can do a lot of things, right? You can just explore those things by yourself. Okay, at the end, I'm just shutting it down, like using the shutdown command. So let me use the shutdown command, and it's getting filed. Operation was filed. So in this case, I think I have to migrate my process to another process. Let me enter PS to migrating to another stealthy process, or I can just move to the process of the explorer.exe. I'm just migrating to 6080, which is the explorer.exe process, which is an x64. Oh, sorry. It's basically not anti-authority system, and we have to migrate to a process in which the permission is anti-authority system. So let me list the process once more. And we have to look for anti-authority system, and we can just migrate to the SVC host, which is 2496. So I'm just migrating to 2496. And you can see it's completed successfully. Now we can just split the screen. If you are in the good process, then you can just pretty much enter commands that most probably will work. And I enter shutdown. It's still saying file, maybe because of any other issues. So let me enter restart. There is no such command available. So let me migrate to another process and try once more. Like I'm just migrating to conhost.exe, which is 1448. I'm just migrating to that process. I'm also entering get system, and you can see it's already running a system. And let me try this once more. Shut down. Here it is. It worked, right? If you migrate to a more privileged user, then you will be able to run a lot of commands. Once you migrate to a process, if in some cases it doesn't working, then you can just pretty much migrate to another process with the same privilege, like anti-authority um, system, right? Which is an admin permission, right? So this is pretty much about it, guys. I hope you will be able to learn something new from this video. And thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.